Now, I'll start from the beginning of this, because this is what just blows my mind about it. Roy is not heard from. Roy is not seen. Roy is just non-existent, pretty much, in our lives, which is great for us. With the exception of the child support, of course, but I've just given up on that. Life is good. Leave me alone. That's the pay that you get for it. Out of the blue, out of nowhere, Brandon gets a phone call, and it was, I believe it was a week or maybe 10 days, a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving. And Roy says to Brandon, "Hey, how you doing? Well, hey, guess what? You're probably going to see me on the news soon. I'm going to be a hero. That I knew where the little girl is that's down in Florida. I know where Kaylee is, and I'm going to go get her." Brandon called me that night and said to me, "Mom, you sitting down?" I went, "What's up?" He goes, "You're not going to believe this." He goes, "Roy called me." And I went, "Why?" And he said, "Well," he goes, "I really don't know if I should be telling you this." And I said, "Well, you just go ahead and tell me. You know, it's good for you. My son knows about it. You tell the truth." Or we taught him too well, didn't we? But he told exactly what he told me. He said that's exactly what Roy told him, that he knew where the body was and he was going to go get it when the water went down. And that was the other part, when the water went down. And I don't know what all that means. I didn't know anything about, other than watching what was on the news. I knew nothing about it. That was the conversation that Brandon had with Roy. Then Brandon came here for Thanksgiving, which was about a week later. They lived in Virginia at the time. Roy's parents were down in Florida at the time. Susan called me and said, "Hey, Nanny and Bob are going to be in Maryland." He said, "Is Brandon and Linda going to come up for Thanksgiving?" I said, "Well, as a matter of fact, they're talking about it." I said, "But I think he has to go. He's got duty on Thanksgiving. So come up. I mean, he'll be up here a couple of days before. So we're going to celebrate Thanksgiving before Thanksgiving." And that was the weekend before. So Nanny and Bob came up from Florida. Susan called and said, "Can we come over and visit?" And I said, "Well, of course you can." So they came over to visit. And without even mentioning anything about the conversation with Brandon, other than the fact she knew Roy called. She knew Roy had had a communication with Brandon. She says to me, she said, "Roy's been talking with Nanny and Bob, and that little girl in Florida, he thinks he knows where the body." I'm like, "You're kidding me. Oh my God, here we go again." And then I told her what was the conversation with Brandon. So there's the relationship there where Roy had told his parents the week before Thanksgiving, at the same time, called Brandon and told him the exact same thing.
Going back a bit when your life with Roy, you had mentioned when we last talked that he had an interest in certain games.
Yeah, I got to talk about that. Wow. Roy liked to fantasize. He lived. His world is a fantasy world. Science fiction, fantasy, pretend, make up, believe. He loved Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons. He got so involved with the game that they would slam stuff on my table, and they would yell, and they would act out, and for days he'd walk around like, "I'm the king," whatever. He did that silly crap, and I would just think to myself, "What the hell is this?" Because I wasn't raised like that. We played Parcheesi. I had to go outside and play. I wasn't allowed to watch television. I wasn't allowed to do all that stuff. But Roy, he was really fascinated with the pretend. If it was pretend, if he could take himself and inject himself into another world and be that person, that was Roy. That's where he wanted to be. He believed in black magic. He believed in wizards. He believed in fantasy. He believed in fairy tales. He believed in demons, vampires, that was his world, and that was so far from anything that I liked or understood that that's when we were very, very different. Very different.
Is he a person who can be believed?
No, absolutely not. And just because, I say that so abruptly. I have to say that because Boy talks so many untruths that you can't. If he does talk the truth, you just can't believe it because everything in his head is so made up. It's all about. It's like he's a walking book, and he wants to make things up as he goes. And the story you hear today, the story will grow tomorrow, and the story will grow again. And by the time you get to the end, it's like, wow, that's not even, And he was known for that.
Were there ever any times where he sort of stalked you or came looking for you?
Oh yes, absolutely. Again, this was at Barrow, the old house. He was angry. He was angry about the divorce. And you know what? I'll be the first to admit, I pulled a fast one on him. I felt like I had to protect myself, protect my child. I didn't want to be around the abuse. I didn't want to be around the violence. I didn't want to be around the alcohol. So he was angry. He was angry enough that he made threats. He made constant threats against me. It was not uncommon for him to say, I should have killed you when I had the chance. I heard that all the time. He even heard this. It was all the time. Every time I talked to him, you better watch your ass. I'm coming out. I'm coming after you. You never know. You better watch your back. You never know when I'll be there. One night I was at the house. Dave was working. On the way home, Roy wrecked the truck. Had Brandon in it, and the truck landed on its side. And when it landed on its side, it went through a fire hydrant right through the passenger side door where my son was at.